Oh my. A massive change is coming to our weather pattern that's going to bring wave after wave of severe weather to parts of the country that haven't seen it in a good bit. But we've also got severe weather happening in the short term. It just doesn't stop. Who's most at risk? And when is this all going to go down? I'm going to have all that and more in today's forecast, starting now. That's a lot of storm fuel. All right, let's start things off with the visible satellite like we always do. And looking at the United States right now, we have a lot of cloud cover from the Dakotas all the way down through Oklahoma, through the southeast, and pretty much the entire Ohio Valley is in clouds. It's an especially miserable day here in Ohio. We've got rain showers in 60s. That's the same across much of the Midwest. It is downright dreary outside. We do have this cool fog off the California coast, but else than that, pretty much the entire western United States is cloud-free. All right, so the big change we were talking about is not in the short term. The next couple of days is going to be the same pattern that we've been stuck in really the past like 6 or 7 days. We've got more severe weather expected down here in Texas, and a lot of it actually could be across the Mexico border. We've also got some severe weather expected in the southeast where we could have a couple of tornado warnings this afternoon and evening. And here's your tornado threat for today. Just like I was telling you, we could have a couple of spin-ups down here in southern portions of Mississippi, Alabama, even into Georgia. And then we do have another 2% risk down here in southwest Texas and then into Mexico where we could get some storm chasers over there. For the most part, guys, the tornado threat, we're not expecting widespread tornadoes today, the day after Memorial Day. And here's how today could play out from a radar perspective. Things should be pretty calm for the first half of the day, but as we hit about 4, 5, 6 p.m., look at that. That shower and storm activity pops right here just south of Fort Stockton, Texas. So things are going to get going just like they have a little bit later in the day. And then as we go throughout the evening into the overnight hours, those storms should continue marching off to their east. The strongest storms are going to stay down in Mexico, thankfully, as an outflow boundary pushed all that instability much further to south yesterday. And then as we get about midnight into 1 a.m., it's going to form into a squall line and slam its way off to the east. Folks down in very southern portions of Texas, I'm talking Corpus Christi, Brownsville, other areas down there, heads up, you could get some strong storms, could be a very noisy night. But for the rest of Texas, you should be pretty much storm-free. And we've also got the southeast that could get some strong storms today. You're going to have a couple of waves here. This is 7 p.m. Eastern. This wave will move through in the evening. By the time you watch this video, it'll probably already be past. And then we've got a second round of storms that'll develop right in Mississippi, and that's going to go over a lot of the same areas, and that'll be where you have your tornado threat. See, that forms a squall line. Could get a couple of spin-ups in that squall line. Not really talking about supercells, though, and we're not really talking about a tornado outbreak. So if you do live down in the southeast, heads up, going to get a couple of rounds of storms today. Flooding could be a big concern, and tornadoes are possible, although not necessarily likely. But check out the eastern half of the country. We've got rain all the way up into Ohio, into Virginia, into North Carolina. This is going to be a miserable, cold, cloudy mess. I hate it. Can I see the sun, please? Even back into Missouri and Iowa, rain and clouds for your Tuesday. And our big pattern change isn't going to come on Wednesday. We've got more severe weather expected generally in this region. This is where some storms will fire right along that Texas-New Mexico border. Clovis is in that. We could get a couple of supercells, maybe a tornado or two. Once again, though, more for storm chasers, less for the rest of us because a lot of the country won't be getting strong storms on Wednesday. Well, I will say the southeast will be kind of stuck in that summertime afternoon showers and storms moving through pattern. But more of the same there. Wow, we just can't get out of this pattern. Thursday, almost the exact same. Severe storms in New Mexico and West Texas, and maybe some isolated severe storms down here in the southeast. Wow, this pattern is getting boring. It's not till about Friday that things start to really calm down, although we do have this risk for severe weather. I mean, this is kind of a really small risk along the East Coast, South Carolina, Georgia, into North Carolina. So heads up there Friday. We could get some severe weather right along the coast. All right, here's the big change that I've been teasing since the beginning of this video. I've teased it in a thumbnail. I've teased it in the title. I can't tease it any harder. And this is the big time pattern shift that we're in. So here's the pattern that we're in now. Notice how we've got this big upper level low. That's causing all of the clouds and rain and storms that we're getting across the eastern half of the country. and that will slide out as we go out throughout the week. It's going to take its sweet old time. Notice how it just kind of hangs around on Tuesday, into Wednesday, into Thursday. This thing is just stuck in place, and it's not until the weekend that it moves off the East Coast. Notice behind it, we've got a ridge of high pressure coming in here, and that'll quiet things down for this upcoming weekend. So I don't think we're going to have any severe weather chances over the weekend, although the eastern half of the United States could be on the wet side, just like it's been the past several days. Here's the big change, though. After we get through Sunday, I'm going to pause it here. This is Monday. Notice how we've got some troughs out in the west. Let me circle them right here. We've got one here. We've got one here. This is a huge pattern shift that'll bring warmer temperatures to the eastern half of the country. Thank goodness. It'll bring cooler temperatures to the western half of the country. But what it will also do is that it'll bring several chances for severe weather to the central plains and also to the northern plains. Notice how we've got this short wave that moves through towards the middle part of next week. And then as we go into late week, look at this big, massive trough. This is a huge trough of low pressure that's going to slam its way into the northern plains. This is Wednesday. This is Thursday. Check it out. Look at that energy. That is a big time signal for some bad storms towards the end of next week. This is the first week of June. So the Dakotas all the way down to Nebraska, through Kansas, even into Iowa and Minnesota. That's the area that I'm concerned about for severe weather. They haven't gotten it in a long time. They've gotten a good break, but now they're going right back to the grinder. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up your mouse in your hand just like this, throw it in the air, grab it again, hit the subscribe button, and mash the like button. And leave a comment below. Look, someone's leaving a comment. This video is so cool. Wow. Back to you, Stormcat. All right, so we talked about the severe weather. We talked about the big pattern change. Now, what's the weather going to be like for the rest of us for this next upcoming week? If you live east of the Rockies, guys, chances are you are going to be wet and you're going to be colder than normal. This is Wednesday here. Notice how we've got rain pretty much from the Rockies all the way through the East Coast. So expect showers and storms in the southern half of the United States, and in the northern half of the United States, east of the Rockies, expect more like showers, clouds, cold temperatures, relatively miserable weather. And then as we go into the weekend, notice how those rain showers shift a little bit further to the east, and now the northeast gets in on the action, and once again, southeast and Florida, more rain for you guys. And it's not until Saturday and Sunday that low, the surface low over here, will slowly shift off the coast, and that should bring some drier weather for a lot. I mean, look at this, guys. There's really not a lot of moisture, really not a lot of rain that will fall on Saturday, even into Sunday, but that's going to change for folks on the northern plains. Notice how we get into Monday, Tuesday. This is that signal that we're starting to see for those severe weather outbreaks. We've got lows that'll move off of the Rockies here and generally move to the north and east, and that'll bring severe weather generally in this region, and you can see that as we go into Tuesday. There's more showers and storms that pop up here. As we go into Wednesday, there's more showers and storms that pop up here. So we will be talking about multiple days of severe weather, multiple days of showers and storms next week, starting Monday, going through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Ooh, it never ends. I might even be going chasing too. All right, so temperatures now. How long is this cold air in the eastern half of the United States going to hang around? Fortunately, the next couple of days are going to be colder than average. Anything you see in the blue and green here, those are temperatures that are 5, 10, 15 degrees below average. That could be 50s, 60s, and 70s instead of 70s, 80s, and 90s, which we're normally accustomed to. I mean, it's almost summer. Can I just get a little bit of heat? So watch as we go throughout the week. That cold, those green and blues stick around. This is Thursday. This is Friday. This is Saturday. This is Sunday. Yikes. A cold week. Watch once we hit Monday. All that red out here that's moving across the plains, that will slide its way to the east and allow the eastern half of the United States to warm up in a big way. In the west, you've been warm long enough. It's your turn for the cold. And that's why in the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, once again, basically everything east of the Rockies is going to be well above average for the first week of June. Bring on the warm. Lastly, guys, look how close we are to 9,000 subscribers. Like, it was just a second ago when I was talking about 8,000. Huge shout out to all of our new people that are on this channel. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Could be good feedback, could be bad feedback. I want to hear it, and I want to hear it from you. And do me a favor, send this video to everyone you know. We just need 28 more people. Wow, that's some quick mental math. And then we'll be at 9,000 subscribers. So thank you all for all that you've done. And I hope each and every one of you had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. We had some insane storms of the weekend. This was some reed timber. Look at the blue. This was right before the Dominator basically got struck by lightning. All right, guys, that's all I got. Find someone today. Tell them you love them. Tell them you care about them. Do something nice for someone today. This is Stormcat 5, and I'll see you on the next one.